Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 14, Episode 8. Let's get metaphysical. As you recall, we had a very dramatic cliffhanger at the end of episode 7. Shannon was brought to the emergency room to check out her head because Kelly bopped her with a mallet. And now Shannon is having vision problems and headaches, and thanks to Tamara, a concern that her brain fluids are leaking out. So they are in the emergency room, and we left off with, oh God, this was so dramatic, guys. The nurse asking Shannon if she would like them to call the police and file charges because this was an assault. Okay, so that's where we pick up, and Shannon's like, yeah, I don't think I want to do that. I just hope she learned her lesson. The nurse is like, okay, are you sure? Just let me know if you change your mind. You can still change your mind. Did Vicki hire the nurse? So she is waiting on a CAT scan. Cut over to the Marival. Is that what it's called? Marival? And Bronwyn, Kelly, and Emily are going over to Gina's villa to have dinner because that's where the chef and the whole staff was. And, power's out, so they're going over there with candles. So before they get there, Gina is alone in this big villa with no electricity and like a staff of 8. There are 2 chefs and there's like other staff managers just standing at the ready. And Gina all by herself. Yeah, I don't think I could eat all this food by myself. And then the crystal healer comes. Yes, this girl walks in. Hello, hello. My name is Lindsey and I'll be your crystal healer for the evening. And Gina's like, oh my God, Shannon, would I loved this. Oh. And Lindsay's like, oh, Lindsay doesn't know where Shannon is or who Shannon is or what happened. But she's going along with it. Oh, I actually have a rose quartz healing stone for you. So put this in your palm and tell me how you feel. Okay, I'm sorry. If you believe in all this stuff, that's great. But I'm a skeptic. At heart, that's just who I am. And so I think this is so funny. Within like a second, Gina, who you know, feels nothing when she's holding this rock. She says, I feel happy. I swear to God, it was like she was guessing. Is that right? And Lindsay's like, amazing. I mean, this is really big for me. It would be big for anyone if a rock made them feel happy. In her confessional, she goes, listen, I've been through some gnarly this season. And if you tell me that holding a rock and breathing for 5 seconds is going to make all my problems go away, I'm going to fucking try it. So if you guys thought this is going to be the episode where Kelly is very apologetic, don't hold your breath. I mean, I haven't watched it all yet, but I can see where this is going already. When the others get to the house and they're talking about, oh, you guys have the big fancy room and all that, Kelly says to Gina, why are you here with all the old ladies? And Gina goes, Shannon's at the emergency care. And Kelly goes, she's upset because I hit her over the head? And she goes, yeah. Kelly turns to the others, did I call it or what? And they're like, yeah, you called it. And Gina goes, do I think she's being over dramatic for the situation? Yes. Do I think you shouldn't have hit her over the head? Yes. Kelly, it was a light tap. It was a love tap. Okay. Listen, I will give you that did not look like a hard hit. And the mallet also seemed to be covered in fabric or something. So it's not exactly like she took a sledgehammer and with all her strength whacked her on top of the head, right? But there's definitely some over embellishing on both sides here, right? Shannon is way over dramatizing this whole thing because although she did feel like, she said when she got out of that sound bath, she said that one on top of the head really hurt. If she ended up finding out that was something Tim had done, I can't imagine it would have gone any further than, oh, Yeah, that one hurt a little bit, because she trusts this place and the healers and all that stuff, because she buys into all that. It became worse when she found out that Kelly did it. To be fair, it could be because Kelly doesn't know what she's doing and she thinks Kelly could have hurt her. And if Tim had done it or the other woman, she might think, well, I mean, this is part of the process and I guess it's fine, even though it kind of hurts the top of my head. That could be part of it, but mostly it's that she's pissed off that Kelly is pretty much making a mockery of the whole trip that she planned. And she was already predisposed to be pretty upset with Kelly. So finding out she did that, coupled with Tamra in the spinal fluid leaking, you knew that was going to get overblown, and it was. It's overblown. Kelly shouldn't have done it. To me, I think the bigger problem would be that ringing in your ears, because the hit itself didn't seem that hard, but it didn't happen to me. I don't know. Although, you guys, side note, I'm afraid this is going to turn into the new ice water challenge. Chrissy Teigen, she had her daughter Luna doing it to, I think that was her mom. I'm not sure who was under the bowl. And Unkind TV did it hilariously in their recap last week. If you haven't seen it, you have to. Martha did it to George. Oh my God. And then they do a whole bit out in the car. She's taking him to the emergency room. You have to see it. It's so funny. But yeah, I mean, people are recreating this now. Kids, don't try this at home. Anyway, the embellishment on the other side is right now Kelly saying, oh, it was a love tap. Oh God, that's funny. So anyway, yeah, Kelly's like, actually, I knocked some sense into that bitch. Cut over to Bronwyn and she's like, all right, well, had me, lost me. I was with you there. Maybe you shouldn't have said that, Cal. Oh my God. Okay, so Gina says, well, all I have to go on is what Shannon said. And Kelly goes, I barely touched her. It was a hit on the head. Do you want me to hit you on the head there? Bam. Kelly slaps Gina upside the back of the head. Gina's like, oh no, you do not touch me. And she gets up and she's like, you crossed a line. And she walks out. And okay, you guys who don't watch this episode, you have to watch this part because I need you to tell me your take on this. Tell me if I heard this. As Gina was walking to the bedroom, or she was leaving that living room area, she said something like, don't hit me. I already have a court case. Okay, so is she referring to what we've all been hearing in social media, that Matt physically abused her? That was like a heart-stopping moment for me. I went back again, but it's quick, and there's also, Kelly's also yelling at the same time and stuff, so it's hard to hear. Anyway, she goes into the bedroom. Bronwyn and Emily are trying to tell Kelly, you crossed a line. Emily's like, she's not even involved in this. You need to fix it. And Bronwyn's like, yeah, just you need to fix this. Go fix it. So Kelly goes after Gina, but Gina's, she's pissed right now. She doesn't want Kelly anywhere near her. I don't blame her. She's like, you crossed a line. And Kelly's like, you crossed a line. Gina goes, how? I have been nothing but a good friend to you. Now Gina and Kelly are screaming at each other. Gina's like, you crossed boundaries. You're out of control. Kelly, you're out of control. Oh my God. Look at these poor people from the Miraval. What must be going on in their minds? They're either thinking, oh my God, why do I have to be standing here during this? And what do I do? Or they're thinking, how did I get so lucky that I am working tonight? I don't know, but they look a little shell-shocked. Let me just say that. Anyway, Gina's like, I could say something, but I won't because you do such a good job embarrassing yourself. Kelly, oh yeah, I embarrass myself. I get DUIs. I have warrants out for my arrest. Oh my God, you guys, we cut over to Lindsey, the crystal healer. She's still standing there. I'm sorry, this is so funny to me that this is happening at a healing and wellness place. Lindsey, if there was ever a time to whip out those crystals, now's the time. Come on, Lindsey, let's get some deep breaths happening, okay? I hope you brought a truckload of those crystals, Lindsey. Anyway, Kelly finally, goes up to her and she's like, it was a joke, come on. And Gina goes, I'm not in a place to take a joke right now. Okay, so they do hug. It's a little forced on Kelly's part, but Gina does like allow herself to be hugged. And then, the skies opened. The electricity came on. It had been 4.5 hours since they got there. Not good. I hope they get a discount on those rooms. So they go in the room and, you know, they're fine. It's all copacetic. And, oh my God. Kelly, what are you doing? She won't let go. I didn't hit her that hard. And anyway, that quickly morphs into Gina bringing up how Kelly was so rude to her when they were in LA. And Kelly said, well, you know, that's because you were giving unsolicited advice. And Gina said, you know what? Sometimes you talk to your friends like that. You tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Kelly's response to that was, well, maybe I would accept your advice more if you were an accomplished person. Oh, yeah. Gina, you're saying I'm not accomplished? Kelly, yeah, I am. Gina, and you're an accomplished woman? Kelly, yeah. I've owned 10 homes. I have millions of dollars. Gina, okay, we already said I don't have the money, but like, I've been to jail. You've been to jail. Yeah, I've been to jail. This is the weirdest pissing contest I've ever witnessed. Ladies, just admit that your biggest accomplishment is being on the Real Housewives of Orange County. And you've both accomplished that, so you're even done. Let's end this conversation. Well, it gets worse. As you might imagine. Gina said, well, you know what? If you think that, this is my place, so why don't you go home? And Kelly said, okay, yeah, I will. Emily and Bronwyn are like, no, no, no. And then in an effort to maybe make peace, Bronwyn said, okay, just everyone calm down. Gina is like a little sister. Gina's like, what is that bullshit? She whips off, she had like a coat covering her. She whips that off, she gets up and she's like, I'm like the big sister. Who's older sister? Who in that group? Are you an older sister too, Gina? So in the confession cam, she said, that is insane to me. I act more mature than most of these women that are in our circle of friends. And I'm the little sister. When did I become Skipper? I'm Barbie. Hell yeah. Okay, so now Gina wants to go home. She goes to the bedroom and she wants to start packing and leave because already she really doesn't want to be there. We see that an hour ago she was on the phone with her kids and they were crying because they want her to come home. So she's done. She's just done with this wellness retreat. Now Emily goes to try and talk to her. And she's like, no, I want to leave. I just want to leave and go see my kids. And Emily's like, just please stay. What? Come on. Gina goes, no, I'm pissed at you too. She goes, me? You're mad at me? And she said, yes. And she goes, well, tell me why so I can apologize. And she goes, you pressuring me to go to Vegas. Emily goes, that's why you're mad at me? Okay. Wow. Gina and Emily are crying and fighting. Bronwyn and Kelly are now just sitting on the couch. And Kelly goes, did you hear that? And Bronwyn's like, yeah, it's not good. Kelly, they're fucking crazy. We are at a wellness retreat, for God's sake. Yeah. Yes, we should all be as well behaved as you, Kelly. She kills me. I love Kelly. Okay, so now Emily is really crying and she's like, how do you think I feel? My best friend doesn't even want to talk to me. Gina, she's got her bags packed and I don't know if she's really leaving or not, but she walks out and she and Emily have not resolved anything. Now we cut back to the hospital and Tamara and Shannon are leaving and they're getting into the van to head back to the Miraval. I'm probably saying that wrong and I'm too lazy to look it up. So they get in the van and Shannon's like, oh, I still have a splitting headache. Tamara, well, it was very nice of you to not have Kelly arrested. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. Kelly shouldn't have done that, and Kelly should apologize. It was stupid, but she had a bowl on her head, and she came up behind her, and she donked it with a padded mallet. Should she really have been arrested for that? Ridiculous. Okay, so Tamra and Shannon are in the car, and she goes, oh, I have a text. Kelly says, call me. So she calls Kelly, and Kelly goes, Tamra, what is wrong with you? She goes, what are you talking about? Why did you take her to the hospital? Are you subscribing to this? And she goes, well, she had blurred vision. I'm not going to let her go to the hospital by herself. Then Bronwyn yells from the background, because both of these women are on speaker. Bronwyn goes, Tamra, is Shannon okay? And she goes, yes. Kelly, of course she's okay. You know she's full of shit. Tamra goes, Kelly, one of her eyes was blurry, and they told her that she probably has a mild concussion. Kelly, I foreshadowed this. And then, I'm sorry, guys. Now Shannon grabs the phone from Tamra, and she goes, Kelly. And she goes, yeah, did they do a CAT scan on you? And she goes, yes, they did. And what happened? Did they find a loose screw in your head? It's bad, you guys. I mean, obviously I wouldn't be laughing if something was wrong with Shannon. Kelly is just doubling down on, this is so ridiculous. So Shannon's like, hands the phone back to Tamra, and she's like, just hang up. So Tamra just hangs up the phone. And now the waterworks. How could somebody be so cruel? It has to do with you overreacting to her bopping you on the head. I mean, honestly, that's what this is all about. I think at some point, if Shannon had reacted rationally, I think Kelly might have apologized. But Shannon going crazy overboard and being really pissed off and rushing to the emergency room made Kelly angry that she was making this giant big deal out of it. And so she's doubling down on, this is so incredibly ridiculous. I mean, they're both wrong. Shannon's talking head. Kelly has a very cruel way of speaking to people. Nasty. Threatening. Gangster. Oh, please. In Tamra's confessional, she's like, Vicki has been telling us for years that Kelly is very aggressive. This is really giving validation to everything Vicki's been saying. Just like in Kelly's confessional 2-3 episodes ago when she said, Tamra has always been telling me to be wary of Vicki because she's going to turn on you too. Tamra was right. Vicki turned on me. It's the same thing. Vicki, who told everybody your husband was gay, and now she's been right all along about Kelly. Yeah, Kelly was Vicki's only friend 2 seasons ago, until she befriended Michael and started fixing him up with dates when Kelly was going through a divorce. But up until then, Vicki and Kelly were teamed up against you and Shannon. So, I'm sorry. I have a hard time stomaching this. Vicki was right all along about Kelly. You guys have all turned on each other, come together, turned on each other again. This is an age-old story. So none of you have been right all along. Okay, so now it's like 10:30. You guys, it is still the first night. I can't believe it. And like I said, I think Gina walked out. I don't know where she went. She had her suitcase with her. And now Emily comes out of the bedroom and she's crying. She's a mess. And they're like, what's wrong? Are you okay? And she's like, she really hurt my feelings. And Kelly's like, you want to go back to our room? And they're like, yeah, let's do that. Let's go back to our place. And Kelly goes, she's a dumbass. So they're going to go back to their villa, but not before Bronwyn asks, can we take some food? I don't eat red meat and I can't have nuts. So they get some plates for themselves and drinks, and they head over to their villa. Oh, I guess Gina didn't leave. Because now we have like this sad music and Gina's sitting all by herself in her villa. Okay, Shannon and Tamra walk in at like 10:53 and Tamra's like, is that Dodd woman in here? Is Kelly Dodd here? Is Kelly here? So they tell Gina that she attacked Shannon, or what that phone call was like. And then Gina said, yeah, well, she hit me on top of the head too. They're like, what? Then they say that Shannon's got a mild concussion, and Gina's like, oh. And then she's like, did they say, they didn't say mild concussion. What did they say? We get like a flashback. I guess the doctor said she has some level of concussion. You guys, I find that hard to believe, but I guess it's possible. And we only saw one quick angle of it, but the force of what we saw didn't look like it was concussion producing to me. But again, I never feel like we have the full picture. So anyway, then Shannon tells Gina that the nurse asked if they wanted to get the police involved. Oh God, you guys. Okay, now Tamara and Shannon are getting something to eat, and Gina's kind of laying on the couch. Tamara goes, what did your good friend Emily have to say? And that's exactly the way she said it. Your good friend Emily. I just think that Tamara and Shannon, and I love Shannon, so this is killing me. I just feel like those two are loving the wedge they are driving between Gina and everybody else. They're getting Gina over to their side. And then this is Gina's reply. I tell her, I'm mad at you too. And she turns it into this, I'm sorry that I wanted you to go to Vegas. Tamara. Oh, the old switcheroo. Okay, so back over to the other villa. Bronwyn says to Emily, I'm really sorry about what's going on with you and Gina. I know you were good friends. Emily said, it's not even like we were good friends. It was like Gina and Emily. We did everything together. We traveled together. Meanwhile, Kelly, where's that buzz coming from? Do you guys hear it? Bronwyn's like, yeah, we hear it too. Kelly is going all over the villa. She's opening the refrigerator, turning on and off the light inside the refrigerator. Oh, God. Okay, so back in the other villa, Vicki calls to check on Shannon and see how she's doing, and Shannon's whole voice changes. They were laughing about all the dick moves that Kelly made, and yeah, it's kind of a dick day. Yeah, she's a dick. And then the phone rings, and it's like, well, I'm just happy that my CAT scan came out okay. You know? And then Vicki said, well, Steve said that if she hit you with an object, it's a felony. And they kind of look at each other, and she said, well, yeah, they asked if I wanted the police. I said no. Vicki goes, well, you have up to a year, I think, to file charges. Tamara goes, sounds like you're pushing for that, huh? Of course she is. Then they talk about food. Is there anything to eat? Shannon said something like, is there room service? And then Shannon's the one that tells Vicki to bring the In-N-Out burger. And Vicki said, no, because we're on our diets. We can't have that. And they just ate. There was a whole bunch of food there. There were 2 chefs. I'm sure there was enough for Vicki. Couldn't they just heat it up for her when she got there? I don't know. I was a little confused about that, except maybe Shannon just wanted something like comfort food. Back over to the other villa, Kelly's on the phone with Dr. Brian Reagan. And she goes, yeah, I mean, we're in like some ding-dong of a ding-dong with some ding-dongs and a ding-dong. It's like a ding-dong. Literally. And he goes, yeah, I don't know what you just said there. It was like a lot of ding-dongs. She is so drunk right now. Cut to the other room. Shannon is saying to Tamara, I know we've had our troubles with her, but there is a surefire sign of fun whenever we travel, and that is Vicki Gunvalson. Cut to outside the door, Vicki running with bags of In-N-Out burger in her hand. Yeah, Vicki's come to save the day. Okay, so she gets there with the In-N-Out burgers, and she's like, how's your head? And she goes, well, it's better. Well, I had a drink, but he said I could. And then Tamara right away, they asked the doctor if she could drink alcohol with a concussion. I don't know. Does that sound right to you guys? I would think that he would say, not tonight. At least wait one night without having alcohol, you know? Maybe. I'm not going to say they're lying because I don't know. But it sounds wrong. Okay, I'm confused. It's the next morning, and when Gina said she wanted to go to her casita, I thought she meant, remember the casita she had last year? That's what I thought she meant. Like, she wanted to go home is what I thought she meant. But I guess she's staying in a little separate casita for the 24 hours that Vicki's there. I don't know. I'm so confused. But in the morning, Tamara said, ugh, I'm so mad at these two assholes. They were up all night laughing and screaming. I was so sorry I didn't take your casita. So that makes me think that they shoved her in a separate room for the 24 hours that Vicki was there. I don't know. We get a little footage of them screwing around and someone saying it's 4 in the morning. And they go, no, it's only 1:23, but the clock is wrong. Probably because the power was out for so long. Okay, so Tamara says, Kelly wants me to call her. I'm going to call her. So she does. Vicki's still sleeping in the bedroom or whatever, and Shannon's sitting next to Tamara. And she calls her, and Kelly said, hey, Tamara said, why were you being so mean to me last night? What are you mad at me for? And Kelly said, I'm not mad at you. I was mad at Shannon. And Shannon, who's sitting right there, said, why were you mad at... Okay, listen, would you mind coming over here, Kelly? And Kelly said, is Vicki there? And they said, yes. And she goes, I'm not going over there with Vicki. So they said they would keep Vicki in the bedroom. So she said, okay. Okay, so all the girls come over. I mean, Emily, Bronwyn, and Kelly. And they're sitting there, and Shannon said, Kelly, before we start the day, I just want to get things cleared up between us. I have been looking forward to this trip for a long time. And you have been disrespectful from the beginning. And then the way you spoke to me last night was so cruel. And she said, because you don't have a concussion or something like that. And then she says, what I was kind of thinking, you wouldn't drink if you thought you had a concussion. And we find out that she told Dr. Brian Reagan, and he said, if you were at all concerned about having a concussion, you wouldn't be up all night partying. I mean, whatever, you can take that however, but I do think Shannon, of all people, wouldn't take a chance, Anyway, now, Kelly's getting loud and saying, you wouldn't have been drinking. What's wrong with you people? And we cut over to Vicki, who is in her bed, listening to the whole thing, and now she's like, okay, I forgot to say that early on in this conversation, when they were saying, Kelly, your response was, I called it. And she goes, I know, because I did. Gina said, yeah, but Kel, even if you did call it. And Kelly turned and goes, I'm not talking to you. Gina's like, great. Continue to be an animal. And she walks out. Now I'm questioning myself. I don't know if Emily even came over. Because all I know is Emily's not in the room now. Just Bronwyn. Bronwyn's sitting there listening. But I don't see Emily at all. So either Emily never came over to the villa, or Emily maybe left to talk to Gina. I don't know. They didn't show that. I just don't know where Emily is right now. Anyway, Kelly agrees that she's got issues and she wants to work on herself. Tamara said, well, can we just can we just hug it out? And she goes, yeah, I'm sorry. And she gets up to hug Shannon. Shannon gets up and hugs her. And then Tamara said, and then after this, go talk to Gina because she's pretty mad too. Kelly, I don't care. Come on. You said you were there to work on yourself. Oh, okay. Emily did follow Gina out, and they're in Gina's casita. And Emily said, you know what? I didn't sleep very well last night. Gina said, why? Why didn't you sleep well? And they're on the bed talking, and she said, I don't understand what's going on here. What's really going on with you? And Gina said, I think something's going on with you and Shane. And I told you about what was happening with me and Matt. And then I was thinking this was going to turn into one of those, I spilled my guts to you about my marriage and everything. And I think something's going on with your marriage, but you're still pretending it's fine. That's what I thought was happening, but that's not really where we're going. Gina is just saying, I told you everything about Matt. And Emily said, yeah, and you came to my house. You told me everything. I was there for you. And she goes, yeah, but it's not a one-day thing. This is ongoing. And Shannon and Tamara have been there for me. Like, they take me out and we go places. And it's more than just like a check-in cool. And Emily's like, this is crazy. This is so one-sided. They treated you like for a year. And I was there for you. I was the only one that was there for you. Gina, you're in hysterics for no reason because you don't want to address the actual problem. Emily goes, what is the actual problem? This is where I thought she was going to say the actual problem is you're not sharing with me everything that's going on with Shane. No. The actual problem is that I have a court case that is ongoing right now, and I need more support. Yeah. Emily, you were right. It is one-sided. So Emily's pissed, and she goes, you know what? If you were so worried about your image, then why are you drinking a bottle of tequila on the back of the bus with Shannon Bedore? Gina. Okay. Thanks, Emily. Okay. And then Gina goes, what's going on with you? Why are you in Las Vegas dancing burlesque for your father-in-law when your husband's not even there? Touché. And a very good point. Emily's response is, you don't want to hear it. You let them get in your ear. And now you're turning against me, just like I knew you would. And she walks out. This is bad, you guys. I knew this was coming, but I hate this. This is episode 8, right? So I don't know how this might end up or how this will turn around. But if the season ended right now, I would tell you that I can't imagine any scenario where Emily comes back next year. I don't think Shane wants to be on the show anymore. And Emily's losing her friends. And I wouldn't want to come back. Well, I wouldn't want to do it in the first place, but yeah, it's sad. Okay, so now Kelly goes to Gina's little casita and she walks in. Okay, I'm ready to talk to you now. And Gina's like, oh, thanks. She gets into that whisper voice and she goes, there's a lot going on. And this stuff I could tell you, but I don't even want to tell you because actually I need a friend right now and I'm afraid you would throw it back in my face. And I have been there for you even when you're not there. I defend you. Vicki came to Annabelle's birthday party and she was still trying to talk about those rumors. And then we see a flashback and, oh God, Vicki having this serious conversation. There's stuff I know and I'm not even saying. And Gina, in full-on tiger face. Yeah, but see, you don't really know anything. And she goes, I do. There's plenty that I know and I'm not even saying. And Gina goes, yeah, I don't want to know. Don't tell me. And I'm only laughing because she was in tiger makeup. But yeah, Gina was definitely defending Kelly. Okay, so Kelly, feels really bad. And she's like, okay, well, I'm sorry. And she hugs her and she goes, oh my God, you're shaking. Do you want do you want a Xanax or? Yes, Kelly. That's what she needs. She's going to court for DUI. She needs to take somebody else's prescription meds on national TV. Oh, God. But she did, she was hugging her and she felt bad. And then, of course, Gina, Matt had an affair. I mean, it happened long before I even met you guys. But, it still hurts and just going through a lot. And she did say, which I thought was kind of insightful of Gina, that it's you just open the floodgates and it's it just keeps coming out. And I kind of knew. Do you guys remember when she was at Emily's house and she kept saying, oh, there's something I can't? And she went in the other room. It was really weird. She sat on the couch for a minute. Then she came back to the couch that Emily was sitting on and she spilled her guts. And that's when we all found out about Matt having an affair before she even met any of the housewives and that he was still seeing that same woman, right? Okay, I knew it was so hard for her to just say it on camera and get it out there. I knew that once she did it, she would feel better. And she does. And now we hear her saying it to her therapist and we hear her saying it to Shannon and we hear and now she just said it to Kelly of all people. So I think she's now, it is just vomiting out of her mouth. And not that it's nothing for her to be ashamed of. She should be able to say it as much as she wants. But it's, but I do, I do want people to be cautious about who they're being vulnerable with. And it just seems awfully quick to be vulnerable with Kelly. And she goes, and now Emily's mad at me. And then we cut over to the other villa where Emily is now telling Bronwyn that Gina thinks she should have called off the burlesque dance when Shane said he wasn't interested in coming. And Emily goes, but I didn't want to cancel it because I wanted to get up there and to prove to myself that I could do it and that I could be confident. Okay, so Kelly comes back to their villa and she's like, I just saw Gina and she's real upset. She's shaking. And Emily goes, well, she made fun of me for going there and saying I was dancing for my father-in-law. I mean, she wasn't even there. She doesn't understand. She doesn't know. But you did dance in front of your father-in-law. You didn't dance for your father-in-law. That's true. But, I mean, come on. It was weird. Anyway, she's upset, and then Kelly hugs her, and she's like, oh my God, everybody's upset. This is a wellness retreat. We should be having fun. So they all want to do the aerial yoga that I think Shannon, Tamara, and Vicki are also doing it. So I don't know how that's going to go. But Bronwyn's like, I'm going to go get Gina. In Emily's confessional, she goes, I feel emotionally drained. I'm at a wellness retreat trying to get well. And all I feel like is I want snacks and a nap. Is there a snack and nap room? Where's that yurt? Oh, okay. So Bronwyn and Gina are going on the meditative walk and the others are doing the yoga. So they start their walk and Bronwyn said, hey, listen, I'm sorry I called you my little sister last night. I didn't mean it in a disparaging way. I meant it as a term of endearment, really. Gina, I don't think that you say things with malice, but like in that situation, I was already pissed off. And then it's like Emily came in. So then Bronwyn says, well, I didn't know you were trying to work on your relationship with Emily. I just thought you were ending it. And Gina goes, why would you think that? And Bronwyn said, well, because that's basically what Emily said when she got back. Great. Great, Bronwyn. Now, if there was any hope of those two getting back together, you're pretty much sealing that fate. Okay, so the first ones to the yoga class are Kelly and Emily, and they're meeting Mary Grace, the yoga instructor. I've got 2 words for you, Mary Grace. Buckle up. In case you didn't already get a warning from the staff at Villa 14, expect the unexpected. Okay, Shannon and Vicki are not in this yoga class. It's just Kelly, Emily, and Tamara. And Emily is hating every second of it. Oh, I hear you, girl. It looks painful. And it's hurting her hip. I knew there was something wrong with her hip. Kelly and Tamara are very good at it, and they can do all this inverted stuff. But yeah, Emily, not so much. And I don't know what Shannon and Vicki are doing. Now we cut to Bronwyn and Gina, and they get to this this meditation labyrinth, and it's, like this maze that's made out of just rocks on the ground. While they're in there, they're supposed to be walking with purpose. And when their mind wanders, which it will, they need to consciously bring their mind back to the thing that they're trying to focus on. And they are given notepads to take notes while they're walking. I guess they're supposed to be writing down something they want to let go of. And when they get to the center, they can leave it there and let go of it. Oh boy. Mary Grace, high alert. Vicki and Shannon just showed up to yoga. Oh, Vicki and Shannon only got there for the cocoon portion of the show. I mean, that part I could do. Okay, back over to Gina and Bronwyn. They're in that labyrinth and they're walking around and Gina's getting really upset. And we don't see what she wrote, but I'm sure she wrote something about Matt as the thing that she needs to finally let go of. They left their notes under the rocks in the center and she was just crying. Bronwyn's hugging her. Okay, yoga's over and Mary Grace has hightailed it out of there. Now the ladies are just sitting there very, very awkwardly in silence. And finally, and I think it was Tamara that said, so what are you guys going to do, to Emily? And Emily goes, I don't know, Kel, what are we going to do? And Kelly's just on her phone. She doesn't answer. Kelly is, of course, barely able to stand being in the same room with Vicki. So then Vicki said, oh, how was your Vegas thing? I forgot to ask you about that. And she goes, oh, it was good. And she goes, did you do the dance? And she goes, yeah, I did. It was good. And then Tamara goes, why didn't you invite us? And Emily goes, oh, well, I didn't think you'd want to come. And Tamara goes, why? I don't understand. And Emily goes, I mean, listen, it kept going back and forth. Like, I didn't know if Shane was going or if it was going to be a girls' trip. Tamara goes, obviously, like, if you didn't want us to go, whatever. And Emily goes, listen, I invited the people that I thought were going to be supportive and be kind to me. Tamara, oh, because we're so mean. Yeah, basically. The conversation that I thought Emily was going to have with Gina about how she doesn't open up enough and that's why, if you don't share your life, I can't get to know you. That conversation is happening now with Tamara. Emily said, I feel like I try to get closer to you guys and you just don't like me. You won't let me in. And Tamara said, I don't even know you. You don't share enough. And Emily goes, yeah, okay, that's fair. Like, I'll take that. So then Emily says, I would like very much to feel closer to both of you. I really would. And Tamara said, well, then I think that you need to not be defensive. Meanwhile, I should say, Shannon's got this look on her face like, that ain't gonna happen. And Emily goes, okay, well, you know what? I believe what you're saying, and I apologize, and we'll move forward. And Tamara goes, well, okay. Vicki now says, none of us want to be hurt, and I don't think any of us have the intention of hurting each other. Kelly, you don't have the intention of hurting others when you ask for dirt on me? That was your intention. You were looking for dirt on me. Vicki, that's not actually the truth. And Kelly goes, this is ridiculous. And she walks out and slams the door. And Vicki's like, that's not what happened because you're a liar. And that is where this episode ends. Yeah. And next week is filled with more healing. Yeah. I don't know if they'll be asked back to the Marival. But that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please leave a comment. I love to hear from you guys. And oh my God, you're so funny. So many funny comments. I can't with you all. I love it. Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to Jill Informed, please consider doing so. And if you liked this particular video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. That shows me that you appreciate what I do here, and that means so much to me. And I'll be right back here next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Time for the next recap of The Real Housewives of Orange County. I hope you join me. Bye.